it is really interesting to imagine how we could have been reptilian and we could have been all these other body forms in the physical in these psych realms, and then we have these beings, whether we were once that way or not, like the reptilians, and how they affect others, like here on Earth, by creating religions to control and manipulate and use others. It's so many experiences in this psych realm seems to be in cause and effect. So that's just makes you wonder if once we were the reptilians and affecting others the same way, and now we have to experience how it affected others by being the effect of what we caused, so that we learn certain lessons that we find out that that's not the way to be in the real universes. We can't be that way, or we're not allowed, and it seems to be just all part of this process that we have to go through, and we decide, each one of us individually, somehow, whatever makes us decide that we don't want to continue coming back into these physical experiences and these psych realms with all these attachments and tap lines and brutalitarians, authoritarians that caused the wars and use the humans like slaves for certain benefits for them, their selfish selves. It is all amazing, all of it, that we get to be instead of not being at all. And then we have to go have these so many experiences we don't like, or whatever you want to call them, we don't want to have if we can prevent from having them happen to us. And this reincarnation of having to keep coming back and being slaved over and over and over and over, and being affected by, like the reptilians here on Earth, certain ones that are in the process, it looks like, of robotizing humans and having the, whether you call it knowledge or ability to keep the human bodies from dying and just being a robotized human for them for who knows how long, until the end of this psych realm cycle. That but anyway, without real guidance and a real education, how would a person know anything about any of the stuff that we don't know? And then we have to find out for ourselves what's really true. But anyway, the new presentation is being offered on Earth right now, and that's an opportunity that if anybody's listening, the real guides probably have presented this opportunity to you to either pay attention and test it out for yourself, get a hold of some of the new books that Dwayne has wrote that are available on lulu.com, on under Dwayne the Great Writer, the Adventure Is series, and there's lots of information on the modern technology on Facebook and Skype and Zoom and other things that Kelsey Brown let's see, her new tech address is Kelsey Brown for President. You could check it out and find out about the new song, a real connection to real guidance and a real education if a person's sincerely trying to find out more than they know about life and what's really going on, what's real. And there's new projects that are in the process of being available for those that want to be involved on Earth, which at this time seems to be not very many, but things can change. It seems like things happen and all of a sudden the consciousness or the awareness of people changes to where they start paying attention to something that makes sense when they're realizing that there's so much going on that doesn't make sense. It's like being in an insane asylum. What's really going on? Why wars and why all these things being put into the air and the water and the food? And so the opportunities being made available is for each person to find out for themselves. Test the new you song. Is there something that somebody'd like to mention?
Go ahead, Zolt, if you have any comments or questions. We have our new friend Zolt here too today.
Well, I was just listening to all this. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so just tell me a little bit about what is your show about? Like, is there a topic or what's the framework of it?
It's just trying to share the new presentation and some ideas about what the new presentation is about with others that might listen to the Blog Talk Radio sometime. So feel free to mention things that you think are important for others to hear, that you'd like to share with them for their benefit, so that they can find out for themselves about the new presentation, the wonderful worldwide educators, and the projects that are in the process of being developing here on Earth.
I don't know
if you had
the project, but I think the most important thing is that we keep our spirits high, so to speak, in a high frequency, and the new you is a great help with that. I mean, I have never laughed so much in my life like in the last 2 months since I've been doing the new you. Everything is funny, and I'm having this amazing laugh just on the most minute thing that I see in a video or anything. And I'm loving nature, I'm loving the plants, I'm loving the animals, dogs, cats, whatever. And I think that's the way to beat the system, because the system is always aimed at lowering our frequency and our mood. They want our fear energy and depression and low vibration. That's what they want, and they have to keep us in a low frequency state. So if we can counter that and do the opposite, then we are achieving something. So, and I think in my experience, the MMS, and I have a number of miracle cures here, at least 5 or 6 of them that work for different things. It's very good for that because the astroparasites that live in our bodies and live in our aura, they cannot stand it. And they are not all like full-blown demons. There are smaller things like slugs or worms or whatever they are, I don't know. But there is many of them, and they suck our energies. So the MMS is very good for that, to clear them out of our aura and our bodies and clear out all kinds of physical parasites, and immediately your mood elevates to a different level. So, but we have to learn to hold that frequency. And I have noticed that since the new you, the demonics are not able to plug into me, but they are plugging into people around me, and they are trying to cause conflict and trouble. So just have to be very aware and conscious of that, and not give in to the temptation to go down the negative path. So, you know, I feel there are many tools that we can use to attain a higher state, and most of them are plant-based or mineral-based. I don't use any chemicals. I don't use drugs. I don't use pharmaceuticals at all. They are all designed to bring your frequency down. So even if they help you temporarily, these pharmaceuticals, they have a negative side effect of bringing your frequency down. Is there anyone who wants to say something?
Yeah, Zolt, you're talking about the frequencies and how that made me start thinking about how these reptilians are actually sucking these energies from us, whether it's fear that they want us to experience. They seem to be able to thrive off of these emotional things that humans express, whether it's all these sports games and the wars and the sufferings and all forms of emotion that they can drain us of our energies.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So, and one of the things that I'm going through right now is I quit smoking pot about 10 days ago because I realized that the pot is shutting off my dreams. So I quit that, and my dreams are becoming more and more vivid, almost on a daily basis. And I can also remember them more. So that's a way of raising our frequency. And also, I noticed that if I smoke pot now, which I haven't for 10 days, but I noticed it before, that the pot doesn't feel good anymore. It makes me feel worse. So apparently I am crossing the threshold of the frequency of the cannabis plant. And there are many other plants that are able to help us raise our vibrations. Like, for example, I am still taking kratom. Kratom is an Indonesian plant that has been used for tens of thousands of years in Indonesia. And it's an amazing plant. It's an adaptogenic. It has an adaptogenic effect, so it gives you what you need.
What effect?
Adaptogenic. The effect of the plant adapts to what you need. It's called adaptogenic.
Would you call it mind altering?
No. No, it alters your state, but it doesn't alter your mind. It's not like cannabis. It gives you a really nice, smooth feeling of well-being.
Yes, you know that so many people on Earth are addicted to alcohol and drugs, which connect them to the lower astral realms, and the entities there, by taking drugs and alcohol, are able to come into a person's aura and
yes, that's right.
cause them.
Yes,
yeah,
that's right.
There's a lot of that going on.
Yes, so this is
Masses
not that.
of people.
No, this is not that. The kratom plant is a very beneficial healing herb, and it has a beneficial effect on your nervous system. It's a healing herb, but it also makes you feel good, but it doesn't alter your mind. So we can use these tools to raise our frequency along with the new you. You know, I'm not saying instead of it, but together. And, just keep raising our vibration, because we live in a frequency-based universe. Everything is frequency. There is no matter as such. And this doctrine of the scientists that matter is atoms and solid things. This doctrine itself is a lowering of the frequency of the astral plane. But really, even the physical plane is not material. It's all energy and frequency.
Yeah,
Do you
and that
get that?
brings us to the new you. That, I guess, we would call a frequency too, and
Yes.
some magical way, it connects us to real guidance and a real education, so we can become aware of what life's about. Such a small little batch of letters or sound having such an effect compared to all the other zillion things that we know of in this physical place.
Yes.
How powerful certain things can be.
Yes. So the new you is the reconnection to the original source energy where we come from, because it's all downhill from there. Source energy is the highest frequency. The unconditioned source energy, I mean.